Hey guys, welcome back. If you've been to the channel before, you recognize this truck. This is the 2004 Chevy Colorado Z71 4x4. Did a little progress report as far as upgrades and stuff we'd done and modifications a little while ago, and we've changed things up since then a little bit. So here's just kind of a status update video on plans for the future and what we've done and where the truck's at right now. So we'll start our way up. You have to excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, so I probably won't sound like I normally do. Starting at the front here, we still got the "Don't Tread on Me" plate with the chain. The chain needs to be repainted. I'll do that probably sometime in the next few days. Moving up, I've added a light bar. I believe this is a 22-inch straight light bar to the bumper. It shines decent. If I go back and do it again, I'd probably get the curved one. But I don't use it all the time. It's not my primary light bar, so it does the job. Move up from that, got the painted Chevy emblem. It's a pretty decent difference, I think, from the original. The original was just like this faded silver look. It wasn't the yellow. I just did not like that at all. Up above here, this is interesting. We've got some cattle horns. Got these at Hobby Lobby, actually. They're decorative. So they're not actual cattle horns. They're like some sort of wood, and they probably will not last but so long on here because of the rain and the weather. But I'm probably not going to keep them on there forever. Up on the grill ornaments, just something you can change out. Had some deer antlers on there for a little while. Just something fun, something to change up on the truck you can do pretty quick. Got a held on here with a couple of zip ties. This one I had to paint them because we didn't have any black ones. This one's starting to fade here, as you can see. So don't know how much longer we're going to keep that on there. I think I like the way it looks. In the future, I'd like to replace the yellowed bottom headlight casing. I don't know why someone replaced the top of the bottom, or if the bottom faded first and the top's OEM. I'm really not sure, but I would like to have both of those equally nice at some point in the future. I painted the fender wells. They were just a little rough, so I just got a can of matte black double coat strength from Walmart. You get it really anywhere you can get spray paint. Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, it doesn't really matter. So we've got the Skyjacker Hydro 7000 3 to 5 inch lift shocks up front to go along with the torsion bar crank I did. As you can see, the truck's not quite leveled. It kind of looks leveled at this angle, but it's just under leveled. So I plan on leveling it out in the future. I cranked the torsion bars up quite a bit and took to the shop to get it aligned, and they said they couldn't do it because it was just, they couldn't reset the camber. So I'm going to get some ball joint spacers, hopefully at some point, and I'm able to redo that, get a little bit more height out of that torsion bar setup, because I've got the lift shocks for it now. Rides a lot better than the stock shocks up front. From on here, I almost got some running boards, but I decided against it. Just wasn't feeling it. Didn't think I'd need it. Researched it, just wasn't crazy about the way it looked. So thought about getting them, just decided against it. I found them for anywhere between $125 and $150 for the extra cab. At the end of the day, I just decided I wasn't going to do it. This big radio antenna right here, I thought about putting a bullet antenna on, but I'm not sure. It'd make the reception worse, but I seldom use the radio. Anyway, I got rain guards off eBay, just a cheap $30 set. But they did not stick very well. To be fair, I did not clean super properly before I put them on. But they did not hold super well. I was not very impressed. I felt like they could have been a little bit better for how much I paid for them. The back ones are OEM, I believe. If not, they were replaced before I got the truck. Coming back here, I'll give you a better angle of these. These are the Skyjacker Nitro 8000 rear shocks. They're also lift shocks for the same 3 to 5 inch lift. We have a shackle lift back here. I believe it's about a 3 inch, maybe 2.5 inch shackle lift. Forgot to mention we have it on 15-inch wheels. I honestly do not know what type of wheel these are. I've heard they are American race wheels, but I've looked them up and I cannot find them in that lug pattern. I can find them in the 5, like for a Ford F-150, but I've not been able to find them in a 6 lug pattern. So please let me know if you have any information on that. Right here we've got the toolbox here. Made a video about this. It was an amazing video, but I just tried to make something with what I had. Somebody asked me a question about it, so tried to help them out with questions there, but didn't know that much about this toolbox. I got it used. Just lucky that it fit. I think it's originally meant for such as like an old Tacoma or a Ford Ranger, because it doesn't sit all the way on, but it sits on enough. Had that installed super quick. Up here we've got the headache rack, roll bar, support bar, whatever you want to call it. It's made from a 1500 headache rack. Originally, these right here went all the way down to where they would bolt to the bottom of the bed. This truck, not having as wide of a bed, they came right here and was all the way up to about up here. So we ended up cutting it off, welding our own base plates, making those, welding them onto this, bolting into the bed here. They run along down there. We added pieces of, I believe, 3/8 or half-inch flat stock, 1, 2, and 3. So it just serves as a back glass protector and whatever visual effects I might get from it. Got a Leonard Skinner sticker there, Flowmaster sticker at the other end. It's covered by the toolbox. The brake light is like an LED with a red in the middle, I believe, and whitish LEDs on each side, or it's red on each side and white in the middle. I don't quite recall. Got the Fire Stick CB antenna up there. It's mounted to this headache rack. I've also got tabs for like some off-road lights if I decide to go that route. I also have a light bar mounted up here. This is a 42-inch curved light bar. I originally planned for it to be mounted up here on the above the windshield there, but it ended up not being long enough. So if I was going to do this again, I'd probably get like a 46-inch light bar and the brackets that are made for these trucks that come out. I think somebody already had it right here because there's holes right here where those brackets would go. So I imagine they took it off where they sold the truck. But if I had to do it over again, that's probably what I'd do. But I kind of like it right here. It gives the headache rack some function, gives it some character, so it's unique. I had to raise it up a little bit so it wouldn't shine on the roof. That is the one hindrance there. The wires come off and they go into loom here, and they go down between the bed and that little cubby that goes into the cab. Back here, pretty much the same as the other side. Going around back, we've got new taillight housings. We got these for about $55 on eBay. They had tinted ones also, but I'm going for just the original look. I think they look pretty good. The original ones were preposterous. They were horrible. Just got tired of looking at them, really. Got some stickers. Got a slightly tinted license plate cover. Haven't gotten any trouble over that by any sort of law enforcement. I've heard people say it's illegal and some people say it's fine. But I've been ridden behind by cops before and they're totally fine with it so far. Hopefully that doesn't change, but I think I'm pretty good with that. It's not a super dark one, as you can see. Still see through it pretty easy, but it does take down from the overall glow from the back, just because it was just such a bright plate. Going under, you can see the Skyjacker Nitro 8000 shocks in the rear. These shocks are great, would recommend. Give a lot of flex. I'd also get the 8000s in the front. When you buy these, I bought these on BillsteinLifts.com, I believe. Pretty fast shipping, great service, would recommend. They give the axle so much more flex. It's just amazing what they do compared to the stock shocks. Ride so much better. Would definitely recommend these to anybody who has some sort of shackle lift. I also have a modified exhaust. It's kind of hard to see. It comes off to a downturn. It's a Flowmaster Flow FX. I had it straight piped and it sounded really good, but the noise was just so loud, and hunting season was coming along, and you not want to be in the woods with a truck that loud. It's just going to scare everything for miles. So the Flow FX is really not that much louder than the stock. but what sound it does have is a lot better. Has a little bit more of a rumble, as much as you can get out of the engines these have. Speaking of that, we're going to go ahead and move up to the engine real quick. Pop the hood here. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky, I'm doing this with one hand. Here's our engine here. It's a Vortec 355. 35, also known as Vortec 3500. It's 3.5 liter inline 5. Puts out about 220 horsepower, I believe. About 5,600 RPMs. I want to say 225 foot-pounds of torque at 3,600 RPMs. The horsepower and torque numbers may be flipped. I may have them backwards, but those are pretty accurate from the factory. This truck has 236,000 miles, so I doubt all of those horses are still in the corral. I'm sure we've lost a few along the way, but it still gets up and goes good enough. It's all obviously mated with the automatic transmission because there's so few of these trucks that have the 5-speed manual and the 3.5 liter option. I wish it wasn't so rare. Got a Scepter high performance intake. I don't even know if it added anything, but it looked cool, I guess. So when you show it to people, they'll think it's cool. Sorry for my finger getting the camera there. I modified this intake. I'm not sure if it even did anything, but I just felt like changing something up on the truck. And you can hear it. It's a lot louder as far as intake noise now. But it's custom, and I did it myself, I guess. Like I said, I don't even know if it did anything. But just decided I'd go ahead and do it. I also replaced the fuel filter with a K&N Performance fuel filter. Probably didn't do anything either, and I probably just spent extra money where I shouldn't have. But that's just part of the journey with this. So engine's not super crazy, but it gets the job done. It turns the 31-1050 Goodyear Wrangler Authority tires pretty well. Nothing crazy on the tires. However, we will be upgrading to either 32-1150 R15s or getting some 17-inch Toyota wheels and getting some center hub rings and some different lug nuts. So I have 17-inch Toyota wheels on here. Somehow change the emblem that's on the hubcaps and put 33-inch tires. Probably a metric size of about 285/70 R15, R17, whichever the metric size is equal for a 33-inch tire. So I'm excited about that. I'm sure the truck isn't, because that's going to be a lot more to haul around. But I'm sure I'll be able to clear them. If I have to do a little trimming, it's no big deal, but I should be able to clear those pretty easy. I'm also fixing to do a 1-inch body lift with hockey pucks. I'll make a video on that for you guys. Probably not the installation, just how it looks afterwards, and see if I recommend it or not, because so far it's a little hectic getting the parts. I've just got to get some washers and some nuts for the bolts, and we'll be ready to put that on there. It's only 1 inch, but it's just a cheap lift. Going to give it a little more ride height, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's using hockey pucks, so it's an interesting approach. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the truck on the outside so far. If you have any questions, let me know. Sorry for the bad camera angles and my thumb getting in the way. Some of the stuff is kind of hard to do with one hand. So inside the truck here, I did not really prepare the inside for a video. There's just the extra cab, so it has the jump seats. Right here we have 1-seat lever, 2-seat lever, lumbar support, basic seat controls, nothing crazy. Cloth seats, we got a tear coming in on one part right here and another part right there, but otherwise they're decent shape. The center console is pretty shot. Gotta do some work with that. Steering wheel is pretty shot. That's why it's got the cover on it. Like I said, the truck has 236,000 miles. And to my knowledge, the only thing that's really gone out so far is the transmission at $198,000. And I bought it and I had paperwork on it proving that it was replaced then, or excuse me, rebuilt. So it shifts pretty good. But lots of the stuff on the inside is a little worn. It is an old truck, like I said. It's got the power locks, power windows. It's not the fanciest, but it's not quite the work truck model. We have some lights up here, light controls. This is where the fog lights are mounted for the LED fog lights. Over here, this is where the light bars are mounted. This one was not the prettiest mount, but this was a last minute add-in. This one was more permanent, that's why it looks better. We have a Cobra 19 Ultra 3 little CB radio in here. It's a cheaper one, but I don't use it all that much, but it's nice to have it. It's obviously hooked up to that Fire Stick antenna. This $40 Walmart Bluetooth radio was in here when I got it. It's nothing crazy. If I did something on the interior, it'd probably be replace the seats with leather seats or replace the head unit, because I'm not a crazy fan of that radio, but it does get the job done. It sounds pretty decent. Nothing crazy, but a decent sound system for an old truck. If you want to want me to do a video on what I keep in my truck and in my toolbox, I will gladly do it. See, we got a fire extinguisher here. There's some bug spray in the far corner over there. We got the baseball bat right here for pickup baseball, of course, obviously. So yeah, that's the inside. It's not super fancy on the inside, nothing crazy. But so far she starts up every time. The truck's name is the Freebird, and I refer to it as a her, but I guess it's more of a he. He starts up every time. And it's been a great truck so far. I love it. I hope this video helps. If you have any questions or want me to make a video about any specific part on the truck or anything in particular, let me know. I'll gladly do it. If you have any comments, ask, and I'll try to answer you as best I can possible. Please like and subscribe. Trying to get this channel growing, especially for fans of these trucks. I know I'm not the best cameraman, but I'm using what I got. Hopefully we can get a better camera soon. I have a little more stable filming situation. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good one.